I know where Drew is tonight. Anybody sees him or loses him, that's a fucking target on their back too. You got it?
Let's get them to turn against one another.
Drew and Diana gotta go.
Handle. Relax for a bitch that got a target on the back of her head right now.
Do it!
Please, please.
Powerbook Ghost Season 4. Upcoming episode is shaping up to be an explosive and game-changing episode. It is titled as The Reckoning, and this installment promises to bring several plotlines to a head, with potentially major consequences for multiple characters. Let's dive into what we can expect on episode 4, with information from the trailer and various sources. The episode picks up right where we left off with the Tejada family in complete disarray. Monet has just discovered the truth about Drew and Diana's betrayal, and the fallout from this revelation is going to be intense. The two siblings are now on the run, with both Monet and Kane hot on their heels. Kane is taking charge of the hunt for Drew and Diana, and he's not playing around. We see him in the trailer telling his street contacts, "I want to know where Drew is tonight. Anybody sees him or loses him, that's a target on their back too."
I know where Drew is tonight. Anybody sees him or loses him, that's a fucking target on their back too. You got it?
This shows just how serious Kane is about finding his siblings and making them pay for their actions. He's putting pressure on everyone in his network, and it's clear that he's willing to take extreme measures to get what he wants. The conflict between Kane and Drew is going to come to a head in this episode. We see a tense standoff between the two brothers, with Drew pointing a gun at Kane. But Kane, ever the more ruthless of the two, dares Drew to pull the trigger, saying, "Do it." This moment is going to be crucial for Drew's character development. Will he be able to go through with shooting his own brother? Or will he hesitate? The trailer suggests that Drew might not be as cold-blooded as Kane, which could put him at a disadvantage in this dangerous game they're playing. Meanwhile, Tarek is on his own mission for revenge. He's seen confronting Diana, telling her, "You look real relaxed for someone that's got a target on the back of her head right now." This suggests that Tarek is ready to make Diana pay for her actions, possibly for her role in the events that led to the attempt on Monet's life. However, Diana might have an ace up her sleeve. When Tarek points a gun at her, we hear her pleading, "Please, please, you can't do this to me."
Please, please, you can't do this to me.
There's speculation that Diana might reveal she's pregnant in this moment, possibly claiming Tarek is the father to save her own life. If this is true, it would certainly complicate things for Tarek and potentially change the entire dynamic of their relationship. The police are also going to play a significant role in this episode. Detective Carter and Kamal Tate are shown discussing their strategy, with Carter saying, "Let's get them to turn against one another." This classic police tactic of turning family members against each other could lead to some interesting developments. They might target Drew or Diana as the weak links in the Tejada family, hoping to get information that could bring down the entire operation. This adds another layer of tension to an already explosive situation. Interestingly, we also see Tarek having a physical confrontation with Salim. The reason for this isn't entirely clear from the trailer, but it could be related to Diana's situation, or potentially something to do with their drug business. Either way, it shows that Tarek is under a lot of pressure, and is ready to take action when he feels threatened. Monet is in a difficult position in this episode. On one hand, she's furious with Drew and Diana for their betrayal. We hear Kane telling her, "Drew and Diana got to go," suggesting that he's pushing for extreme measures against his siblings. However, Monet is still their mother, and she might struggle with the idea of harming her own children, no matter what they've done. This internal conflict could lead to some powerful emotional scenes for Monet's character. The drug business is also going to face some challenges in this episode. We hear Brayden asking Tariq, "Do you really think revenge is what we should be focused on right now?"
Do you really think revenge is what we should be focused on right now?
I gotta focus on this.
This suggests that their operation might be facing some difficulties, possibly due to interference from Kane or law enforcement. Tariq responds, "I got to focus on this. This is something I got to handle," indicating that he's determined to deal with the Diana situation before anything else. There's also a hint that Drew might be considering cooperating with law enforcement to protect himself and Diana. Given the pressure he's under from Kane and potentially Monet, turning to the police might seem like his only option. If he does decide to talk to Detective Carter, it could have massive implications for the entire Tejada family and their associates. The episode is likely to feature multiple standoffs and confrontations between various characters. We've already mentioned the tense scenes between Kane and Drew and Tariq and Diana, but there are likely to be more. The Tejada family dynamics are at a breaking point, and we can expect to see emotions running high and loyalties being tested throughout the episode. One interesting aspect to consider is the potential fallout if Diana does reveal she's pregnant. If Tariq believes her, it could dramatically change his plans for revenge. It might also affect Monet's attitude towards her daughter. Would the prospect of a grandchild be enough to make Monet forgive Diana's betrayal? And how would Kane react to this news? Would it make him more protective of his sister, or would he see it as just another complication in their already messy family situation? We should also keep an eye on Effie's role in all of this. While she's not prominently featured in the trailer, we know from previous episodes that she's been caught between her loyalty to Tariq and her growing connection to Kane. With tensions running so high, Effie might be forced to choose a side definitively. The episode is also likely to touch on Tariq and Braden's new drug operation. They've just made a deal with Zion, and they'll be eager to start moving product. However, with all the chaos surrounding the Tejada family and the increased police attention, they might find it harder than expected to get their business off the ground. We might see them struggling to balance their desire for revenge with the practical needs of their drug operation. Another aspect to consider is the potential involvement of Noma. We've seen Kane getting closer to her, and with OB out of the picture, Kane might be looking to solidify his position as Noma's right-hand man. How will Noma react to all the drama within the Tejada family? Will she see it as a liability, or will she stand by Kane as he deals with his family issues? The title of the episode, The Reckoning, suggests that this is a moment of truth for many of our characters. They'll be forced to face the consequences of their actions and make difficult decisions that could shape the rest of the season. For Drew and Diana, it's a reckoning for their betrayal. For Tariq, it's a reckoning for his desire for revenge versus his potential feelings for Diana. For Monet, it's a reckoning between her anger at her children and her maternal instincts. And for Kane, it's a reckoning of his ruthless ambition against his family loyalties. Powerbook 2, Ghost Season 4. Episode 4 promises to be a pivotal installment in the series, filled with high-stakes confrontations, emotional turmoil, and potentially game-changing revelations. The title, The Reckoning, aptly captures the essence of the episode, as characters are forced to face the consequences of their actions. With family dynamics, personal vendettas, and the ever-present threat of law enforcement converging, this episode is set to push the story to new heights. So, what do you think will happen in the next episode? Leave your thoughts in the comments below.